or coach is talking, you can just be drinking. They call it product placement. So as long as people see it, the name, you can just have the guy take a picture of you holding it.
Welcome to River City Media, a very special event tonight. And you've already heard my two guests in the background, but we're going to bring them on shortly to introduce themselves. First, I want to say we've never done anything like this at River City Media, and we're excited to do it. This all grew out of a conversation Isaac Smith, soccer player, football player in the area, had. And I asked him who he'd like to shout out. And the first words out of his mouth after his parents was Hydroone. And it seems to have really, really affected his career, his ability to perform. And I have Isaac's here, and you'll hear from him in a minute. But first, I want to welcome CEO of Hydroone, Sammy Nasrollahi. I think I got that right, Sammy. You're going to have to correct it for me.
You're very close. Sammy Nasrollahi.
Sammy, tell us a little bit about your products and what you're doing here today.
Well, I have a number of products, but today we're going to basically focus on talking about our body sports. As a former professional soccer player and coach for over 30 years, I've seen when the parents bring their kids to my camp and they bring in loads of sugary, the sports drink, cookies and candies and chips, and we're going to the cafeteria 3 times a day. And unfortunately, there was nothing there for them to drink at the time, sodas and unhealthy food. So I realized when I came to U.S. and I realized, oh my God, our children have a zero chance not to become a diabetic or pre-diabetic because everything has sugar and sodium. So I got with Dr. Bobon, who's internationally known immunologist and cancer research scientist at Medical College of Georgia, and also with Dr. Field, who's also at Yale University, and his specialty is molecular of ophthalmology. So these guys are one of the top scientists in the country. So we decided to come up with a number of drinks, especially with the sports, that it is not just designed for athletes, because unfortunately our sports drink is specifically designed for athletes, but everybody else is drinking it. And unfortunately, the majority of them are loaded with sugar and sodium and artificial colors and flavor. So we decided to come up with the products that can help everybody. Our sports drink is even safe for a diabetic. We only use all natural ingredients, and we have a lot of people that don't realize, Randall, heart is a muscle. And there are 3 ingredients in our sports drink: CoQ10, D-ribose, and magnesium, which is helping individual like Isaac for a faster muscle recovery and cramp. So that's what our focus was. And we want to make something with, again, natural ingredients, cane sugar, which is much, much better than refined sugar, and put the ingredients in there that are actually helping athletes. And it's safe for children and the non-athletes to drink.
As I was preparing for this podcast, I stumbled across a couple of videos on YouTube. One of them was a D2 wrestler who was talking about how this had increased his energy and ability to perform. It's not only, and we'll hear from Isaac's story in a minute, it's not only just about cramping and hydration. There's a performance element to being properly hydrated, correct?
Correct, exactly. He was definitely right. And that's what a lot of people that don't know that. Magnesium that we have in our drinks, it has over 300 different benefits for body. And that's what, and D-ribose is a sugar-like molecule that your body uses to make adenosine triphosphate, which is called ATP. Body's basic form of the energy that fuels when it burns. That's what, unfortunately, a lot of people, Randall, and here's a perfect example. I mentioned that the other day. If you have a twin brother, and today you run 5 miles, and your twin brother drink 1 gallon water. A lot of people don't know. At the end of the night, your twin brother who drank 1 gallon water has a 10 times better chance to get cramp than you. because he sucked every bit of electrolytes and 9 different vitamins, including vitamin B12, vitamin C, folate, niacin, vitamin, B6. People, they don't realize that. And unfortunately, as a coach, as a player, and I went around and I talked to a lot of coaches and trainers. And some of them said, we only give them water. And you have the kids that are running around, whether with a helmet or, shoulder pad or play soccer, you're losing electrolytes when you're sweating. And when you drink more water, guess what you do? You wash more nutrients and electrolytes out of your body. So you have to have a proper electrolyte to refill your body. That's why we're not just putting like D-ribose, CoQ10, magnesium, because it's just like when people have a sugar. You can get a sugar from your donut, or you can get a sugar from banana and your potassium from it. So that's why we focus on everything, because Dr. Baban, as I mentioned, he's internationally known immunologist and cancer research scientist. He has over 100 theses written that is printed in a science magazine. This is the guy is the head of our formulation.
Nice.
And
very nice. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's what I was just trying to say. So that's why it is so important for our children to realize, or the coaches and trainers. And believe it or not, some of my local coaches, they're handing either banana or some kind of a protein bar while the kids are walking from locker room to the field.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize that is not going to help them. As a coach, I ask my player like Isaac, make sure 3 hours before the game, don't eat, because your body is pumping blood to digest your food. That's why you can't eat and go to sleep. The first 3 hours, you're not sleeping. Your body is pumping blood to digest your food. Yes. So there's not enough blood to go down to your legs, to your muscles. That's why people get cramped.
Understandable. That is a mistake most parents would make. That's a mistake I would make as a parent. I would think getting water and a banana, right in before they play would be desirable, but it sounds like hydration takes a longer period of time than just right before they play.
Exactly. I mean, we need to get it prepared. And I even talked to the coach, and he mentioned we usually give them a sports drink after the game. I said, it's lucky. You drove your car, you're completely out of gas, you're parked on the side of the road, now you're going to go get a gas. So, unfortunately, that's not going to help that athlete at that time, because, I'm 70 years old. I started to play professionally 50 years ago in Chicago. 50 years ago. And right now, my team that I play, they're average 25 years old.
Nice.
But I drink my sports drink at least one completely about an hour before I play, and I take another one during when I'm playing. Whenever we take, this is a fun game to play. So we need to get these kids on it during, before, and after, or before, during, and after.
Well, let's move over to one of your athletes and someone who impressed me. First, congratulations, Isaac, to being appointed to the USDL camp, I believe in July. If you could probably talk about that a little bit. But when we were doing our initial interview about your football, we went over a little bit to soccer, and the word Hydroone came into it. What was the initial benefit to you?
Well, it's kind of a funny story, actually. The first time that I met Sammy, I was at a residential camp up at, or it might have been a one-day camp up at Lander University in Greenwood, South Carolina. And right before he started to do his presentation, we were playing a game, and I started to get a cramp, and I ran over to my bag to get a drink of some Gatorade that I had brought. And he grabbed it, and he was like, this is no good. And then he handed me a Hydroone, and he kind of chugged the Gatorade and gave me the Hydroone, and then it's kind of been going on from there. And so, and then, like, drinking that has just made me kind of, no cramps at all. And then I took a little bit of a break from it during the high school soccer season. Like, I hadn't ordered any in a while. And then the first preseason game that we had, I cramped right at the end, and so I ordered them for the rest of the season. I was good.
And Isaac, this was not a severe problem for you, but it was a persistent problem with the cramping, correct?
Yeah, it was pretty like on and off. Like one game I would, one game I wouldn't type deal.
Sammy, and we'll come back to you, Isaac. Just stay ready. I got a follow-up question. But Sammy, with Isaac showing intermittent cramping like that, is that a issue of overall hydration, or is it period-to-period hydration? Because it sounds like to me what your product does is build a longer window for an athlete other than a sugary drink would.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, Isaac just mentioned Coach Lee Square, who is the head coach when Isaac came to our camp at Landon University. He came to me about 10 years ago. I can send you the video. You can post it if you want to.
Yes,
he
absolutely.
Said, 7 out of my 11 players are getting cramped. I was watching them. But, obviously he was giving them, this famous sports drink that a lot of these athletes are promoting, and they're not even drinking themselves. So I said, well, I'll tell you what you're giving them is not healthy enough for them. It's got so much sodium, it's got sugar, and it's got a lot of artificial colors and flavor. So their body has to fight so they'll be ready to play again. So while they're running, their body's also fighting those chemicals, those artificial stuff. So he took my challenge. 10 years in a row, 0 cramps. Every year, the team goes to win the Peach Belt, and they go to the national, they go to the final. And what we were watching last year, they went to the playoff, and the other team, you should have seen him. At the halftime, half of the other team was cramping. Well, his team are still warming up in the field, and he's talking to them. Then the game went to overtime. The other team, they were struggling so bad. So obviously they lost in a penalty kick. But the point is, this is not just me. The entire Philadelphia Flyer hockey team, they've been drinking our drinks for 10 to 12 years now. Even though they have a major contract with, a sports drink, major sports drink, but they're our partner over there with their head athletic trainer, Jimmy McCrossan. He's been giving them our drinks, and he said they love it.
Excellent. And that's a great endorsement. An NHL team, an NHL trainer. Isaac, back to you for just a second. When we were talking, and congratulations on your recent, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's the U.S. Developmental League team that you're doing some work with this summer?
It's the USYS ODP team, but it's close enough.
You know what? I don't know my soccer acronyms yet, but thank you. Thank you for correcting. Isaac, I talked to your dad just a little bit on the side about this drink. And I think one of the side benefits maybe that you've received is a little boost in your confidence to know you're not going to suffer the cramping you did in the past.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can definitely put in more into the game because knowing that, because if you know that you're going to cramp towards the end of the game, you're going to want to save as much energy as you can so that you prevent that. Because from personal experience, I don't think there's many pains worse than cramping in your legs, especially in your hammy or something. That's like a death pain. So, it's definitely giving me a little bit more room to work with. You know what I'm saying? To just focus on the game and not even have to worry about the cramp or anything like that.
Well, we've talked about soccer. Now, how do you take the Hydroone product into your football life?
Well, usually my dad brings them to the game, so I won't bring them with me because I want them to stay colder for longer. So, usually he'll toss them down from the stands actually to me, and then I'll set them by the bench, and then once I'm off the field, I'll come over and get a drink or something.
You know, that's a good dad right there. Shout out to your dad, Brian Smith, old friend of mine. So that's a lot. Isaac, one more question about soccer, and for me, I've never played a competitive second of soccer. I'm a football guy that came to you to do a football podcast, but to me, it looks like the physical requirements to perform in that sport is beyond belief. And you talked about you got a game tonight and you're going to eat now, and it's very important that you eat now. Is there a whole routine that you have built around game day with Hydroone and your meals?
Yeah, I have a game day, or whenever I want to focus in on practice, like really have a good day of practice, I'll do some specific stuff like what I eat, what I drink, that kind of stuff. Usually it tends to be sleeping in a little bit more than normal,
Mm-hmm.
like getting a little bit more sleep than I usually would, and then going from that to eating some good breakfast, and then towards lunchtime I'm gonna have a small little meal with probably a sandwich or something like that, and then I'll snack on some like bananas or something on the way down to the game, on the way to the game. And because usually we get to the game in around an hour and 30 minutes, so usually small stuff never bothered my stomach. And then I'd say probably at about an hour or so before I have to leave for the game, I usually take an ice bath on the game day, because that gives my legs enough time to.
Right.
And then after the ice bath, I get out and I'm moving around, warming my legs back up, warming the muscles back up. It's just like a game day ritual type thing.
It's amazing the level of a world class athlete like yourself. It is really a lifestyle that you live to perform at that level. Sammy, going back to you for a second. Now, we had a discussion earlier in the week. We don't want to get off of the athletic stuff, the athletic drinks, but you had a story about a truck driver that, even though it doesn't apply to this product, that was incredible. Can you share just a little bit of that with us?
Sure. One of the truck drivers brought me a truckload of our drinks, big guy, and his name is Joe Bark, Burke, and he said, "What are these stuff we're bringing?" Well, obviously, he was unloading my Rev D line, and Rev D is, you can see on our website on your picture, is the first drink in the United States that is specifically designed to help diabetic. It has a United States patent, and it also has major benefits. It has no sugar, no sodium, no very little carb. And anyway, he said, GF, which is commonly known as a cinnamon extract, help the diabetic with their insulin and weight management. He said, "Listen, I'm a candidate. I'll take your challenge." So in 1 year, remember, professional truck driver driving average 12 to 14 hours a day. He took my challenge. I showed him how to make the smoothie while he's driving and going to the places, and lost 56 pounds in 1 year. And I hate to say that, because so many garbage diet comes every 6 months to our country.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people jump on it. And 6 months later, they realize, no, there's a new one just came in, because that didn't work. So you guys got to remember, just like when we say regular beverages versus diet, as bad as the regular sodas are, diets are even 100 times worse, because they have aspartame and sucralose in there, which is not good at all. And majority of the people that drink in diet, they do not lose weight. They actually gain weight. So the problem that a lot of athletes that go back to ARPA, they don't realize a heart is a muscle. And there are 4 major ingredients that helps heart, according to the doctors: magnesium, D-ribose, CoQ10, and L-carnitine. So we have 3 out of 4 in our sports drink, because as you get older, you lose CoQ10. So our sports drink is excellent for people that are older, to help them with their heart. So CoQ10, coenzyme 10, has over 300 different benefits for the body. So if you have audience that they can obviously go to our website, or you can send them our website. We take challenges. I guarantee them, we give them a direction how to get back into the healthy lifestyle without using any diet, without, going all this, unfortunately, information that they give you. This product does this product does that. But unfortunately, every one of those, let's say medicine, you take one medicine to help you with your cholesterol. but it gives you 6 other problems.
Yes.
That's our culture.
Yeah.
And that's where my team is the only team in U.S. and around the world that we design patented products. Like this product I just mentioned, they won the highest award in the world for a sugar-free products for a taste. That's how good they taste. And we also have a sugar-free green tea with the FDA claim to help the diabetic and people that have high cholesterol. So there are a lot of benefits in each one of our products.
Well, we have in the body of this podcast, you can find the link to Hydroone. Also on River City Media's Facebook page, it will be pinned to the top of it. We'll let it set up there, and we'll find somebody. If you want to take this challenge, contact Sammy, contact this group, because I've heard nothing but wonderful product about this, wonderful praise to this as a health benefit. Isaac, I know you're running short. We don't want to keep you too long, but I got a couple more questions for you, and then I'll go back to Sammy, and we'll kind of wrap this up. He mentioned it, Isaac, Sammy did, taste. As a 17, 18-year-old high-level athlete, what is the taste of Hydroone?
It's hard to describe, actually. I've been sipping on one while we've been on the phone, and the one that I'm drinking right now is the black cherry grape. And at first, I didn't think that I was going to like the taste very much because it's a kind of different sort of, black cherry grape. You never really hear those two.
That's not a normal combination that I'd think of.
Yeah, but no, it's actually really good. Like, I really, really like the taste. And whenever the lemon lime is my favorite because you know how if you've ever had the lemon lime Gatorade, it's kind of real tangy and that kind of stuff. This one's like a more sweet lemon lime, and it's actually really, that one's definitely my favorite. But yeah, no, the taste is, it's different from all the other drinks, but it is really, really good. Like, it's not like a Pedialyte where it's like you want to die when you're drinking it or something like that.
Yes.
Like, it's like, or like it's too much one way or too much the other. But it's, in my opinion, it's like the perfect mix.
Isaac, have you ever had a teammate try any of your drinks?
Yeah, my friend Tarek, actually, he's a holder and he's a wide receiver as well on the team. He's the holder for my kicks and stuff. And so, my dad, whenever he brings them at the football games, he brings one for me, one for him. And he drinks them a lot, and his results have been the same thing. He doesn't cramp, and he plays soccer too. So me and him are in probably the best condition regardless on the team. But with that, he's also running a lot as being a wide receiver as well. So, and he's not cramping at all either. So, overall, it's not just me who's having good results.
Well, Isaac, this will lead me to my last question. And then, Sammy, I want your input on the same question. I do think the better shape an athlete's in, like a soccer player, or you're more subject to cramp. As your body gets developed, Isaac, when you're in mid-season soccer shape, is that different than football shape?
Yeah, a lot. The only thing in football is that the difference is that there's like stops, like there's timeouts, there's breaks in between the plays. You're not running constantly. There's always a stop in the play. Like, no matter if it's a 5 second, 10 second, 12 second, you're stopping and having a break. Soccer, mid-season soccer form is something different because in football season, you can have a tough practice and still be all right. Even as me running some wide receiver routes, it's not as bad. But linemen are like a different scenario. I'm assuming that it's pretty hard for linemen just knowing like the body type with how much actually physical presence that you have to have and all the pushing and shoving that you have to do. So, mid-season soccer is something different. Like mid-season soccer, the only thing that you got to worry about is injuries, that kind of stuff. Whenever you hit mid-season, you should be in good enough shape to be able to run for games on end.
Do you feel like your muscles, once, like you go to these camps and you'll play multiple games in a day, do you feel like getting them the 24 hours, 12 hours before a game when you know you're going to play a game and then maybe play another one later that night? Is it getting the day before, getting some Hydroone in you, getting yourself hydrated perfectly? Is that a benefit to you from the psychological stand or the physical stand?
Oh, yeah. No, 100% it is. Making sure that you're hydrated is a big thing because as your body gets older, I mean, even being in a really like a younger age of older, like being 16, 17, it's still hard to run it multiple games a day. Like the first game usually goes by pretty quick and it's easy. It's not too terrible. But then if you play another game in the same day, that's where it gets a little tough, where your legs start to fatigue, your body starts to get tired. And if you don't have proper hydration in Hydroone, like I said, I've never cramped. So using that, if you don't have that kind of hydration, then you're going to cramp, you're going to feel it. And especially, like, let's say you have a game Saturday and a game Sunday, that's how we play on our ECNL schedule.
Yes.
If you play the game on Saturday at such a high level and the physicality level that it's at, and you're going to burn a lot of energy, if you're not properly hydrated Friday and then rehydrate yourself Saturday for the game Sunday, you're going to be out of luck. You're going to wake up dead tired, your legs are going to feel heavy. You're not going to, it's a tough thing to do, play a game back-to-back on days, but Hydroone has definitely been able to help me in rehydrating myself and being ready to go the next day.
Excellent. Sammy, before we get off of here, and we're going to bring Sammy back, everybody be watching River City Media next, maybe a week or two from now. We'll let this one sit out there for a while, and then we'll bring him back and we'll talk about health benefits for me being a 6'5", 320-pound man with high blood pressure. We'll cover that subject in a different podcast. But Sammy, tell me a little bit about the formation of the company, because it really is built off of a mission statement to benefit people.
Well, like I said, we are the only company. And when I came to this country 50 years ago, and I noticed what's going on, and if you look at it, unfortunately, I travel all over the world. I have family living in Germany, in England, in Turkey, in Iran, and I travel, and I hate to say that. You have to look almost a month in one of these European countries to find somebody 300, 400 pounds.
Yes.
And that's what we are, unhealthiest nation in the world. One of the names, and unfortunately, we have 130 million Americans are diabetic and pre-diabetic, and those are the ones who are registered. And so if you look at it, and let me ask you that, I can stump you right now. In one package of sugar, how many grams you think is in one of them? 97% Americans, they don't know the answer. How many grams, Isaac, you probably should know because I want to talk about it. Randall, can you tell me how many grams is in one package of sugar that people put in their coffee?
I am I do not know. Not even just a guess.
1 to 100.
Wow. 49.
And how much?
49.
Okay, Isaac, what do you think? Is Isaac still on, or is gone?
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say it's got to be in the 100s, right?
Okay, here's the thing. I want you guys to remember this. If you're drinking one regular soda or a 16-ounce sweet tea, it has 17 packets of sugar in it. Just one soda, regular soda, not Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew has 69 grams of sugar. Each package only weighs 3 grams. So if you're drinking one soda a day, just the one soda, which most people, they drink 2, regular Coke or Pepsi product, you're looking at over 12,000 packages of sugar a year.
Wow.
Now you guys wondering why? Dr. Stutter is one of our partners. He's a dentist. He came to the NBC show with me and brought a video showing that kids at the age of 13, 14, their mouth looked like a meth mouth. Because all the sugar in our products. I mean, just look at it. Every drink is loaded with sugar. And the problem is there are some good sugar, there's some bad sugar. But if you look at most famous beverages, most famous sports drinks, maybe the artificial sugar. That's why our team is decided we want to be different. We don't want to be a Coke or Pepsi.
That understandable.
That's what my goal and our mission, our vision is, to bring health back to our country.
Excellent. All right, Isaac. Before we wrap it up, tell folks where they can support you this summer in your Summer Soccer League. I believe it's at Camp Jordan. Do we have a schedule yet?
Yeah, it's the USL Academy schedule. You can look it up at, I think it's uslacademy.com.
Okay.
I think is what it is, not mistaken. And then if you just look up the Chattanooga Red Wolves, once you get in the search bar, that's where you'll find it at. But yeah, you can find me there, and then you'll see me at Exit High School playing football as well. And I would encourage any athlete who's listening to use Hydroone because it really does help with cramps and anything like that.
Excellent, Isaac. You can go ahead and jump off. I know you've got to get ready to go play, and we appreciate your time here.
All right, thank you. See you, Sammy.
Good luck, Isaac. Have a safe trip.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Isaac.
Randall,
Yes, sir.
by the way, I spoke with Coach Rivers. I'm going to be in your neck of the wood on Wednesday. And
Okay.
I just got a message from Luke Winter, the head of the soccer academy in your town. So we're going to be trying to get our products in, for your the high school team there and Luke's group. They got over
Excellent.
25 different teams. So our goal is, like I said, to educate the trainer, the coaches, the parents. So if you have any parents and they have any question, any problem with their health issue, we also have other drinks that we're not going to talk about right now. I also designed the first CBD and probiotic in the world to help people with cancer, diabetes, pain, inflammation. So they can go look at the website and see all of our products there.
And that website, again, Sammy, so everybody knows where to come.
www.hydroonebeverages.com. HYDROONE beverages with S.com. So www.hydroonebeverages.com.
And it'll be linked at River City Media. Sammy, anything else you want to get out before we close up tonight? Anything you want to tell the parents or the kids or anyone else? Any last words from you?
We're going to be there with Coach there at 11 o'clock with the team. If the parents want and anybody in your community are interested,
yes,
I'm there all day on Wednesday. And you can put my number up there or our email.
I will.
You're welcome to send email. If they have any question, I'll be more than happy to respond to them. And like I said, I really appreciate you supporting organization like us, that they're caring for these kids, their parents, their coaches, their trainers, because we're all in the same, pot. So we need to just help each other to go to the next level.
In 31 years of covering sports, Sammy, I cannot tell you in how many August nights in the fourth quarter of football games I see cramps. And if you're a parent, one of these athletes, why not try an alternative? Because the sugary drinks, the methods that we're using now, obviously haven't worked. So here's an alternative. Try something different.
I agree with you, Randall. Unfortunately, all over Europe, I went around the country for the last 14, 15 years, asked people if they know what GMO stands for. You would be shocked. Almost 90% of our people in our country, no matter what age, they don't know what GMO stands for. GMO is genetically modified. They're banned in European country, but we got it in major food in our country. So it's not just about the beverages. The chemicals in everything they're putting in our products, from the corn, from soy, from wheat, you name it. They're all genetically modified.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. And I look forward to coming back and let's talk about talking about health benefits. I think you have a wonderful product, and we've never chose to do anything like this at River City Media. And what I challenge folks to do, again, Sammy, is I'll link your information on the webpage and how to contact you. If they have questions, send them to you. Let you have a chance to prove the benefits of this product. And I think that's all you're looking for.
Exactly. They can send me an email, info, exactly the same thing at our website, info@hydroonebeverages.com.
Excellent.
I'll be more than welcome to buy anything. If they have any question, I have a complete team that they can help them with any kind of a health issue they have. Absolutely no cost to them. They have questions, we can answer it for them. So we're not just there trying to sell products to them. And I'm going to promise you, your audience is going to love you, because I'm going to put you on my challenge, and I will help you. Trust me.
I do. And again, Brian's father just sent me a message, who works in the medical communities. These products really work. Encouraged to try it and see it for yourself. Again, someone who works in the medical field, encouraging folks to take the challenge. So
that's our goal. It's all about education. I really appreciate what you do in your podcast for athletes and their parents.
Absolutely.
Because it's very important. Like I said, it's the parents that make a decision. Like Isaac just said that. My dad buys it and brings it to the game to me. Because even though he's old enough to do it himself, but if you look at it, 12 years old, 10 years old, they don't have a credit card. Mm-hmm. It's the parents that bring home. You bring home donut, the kid's going to eat donut. You bring home apple, the kid's going to be eating apple. Mm. So we can't blame the children.
Sammy, this has been very informative, and thank you for your time. Again, your name, say it correctly for me. Sammy. I'm going to get it one of these days, but I appreciate your time, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks. And folks, this will be pinned to the top of River City Media. And if you have questions, send them to Sammy. The product, we won't. It's very reasonably priced in my mind compared to stuff like Prime and stuff that's on the market. So it's not like it's unaffordable, unattainable pricing to it. It will help your children. It will help you take the challenge. This is Randall Cunningham for River City Media, and I appreciate your time and listening to us.